Today we're going to talk about history's greatest plot twists. Most people think these ideas are crazy, but they're actually brilliant. They change the way we live, from simple ideas like washing your hands for hygiene, to once unimaginable things like space travel. Let's kick off with a wild one: air superiority. Today, no one can deny the power of aircraft in military conflicts. A single fist-sized drone costing around $100 can destroy a full-scale $50 million tank. About a century ago, though, all military officials thought airplanes were trash, except one. Meet the father of the United States Air Force, General William Mitchell. He had commanded aerial units in France during World War I and saw the potential they held for the future. Mitchell lobbied endlessly for an expanded American air presence. He was even approved to demonstrate how planes could sink an unsinkable captured German battleship. And the simulation succeeded. Guess what that success got him? The officials accused him of cheating and insubordination. He was court-martialed for advocating air power. He will go down in history as a true visionary and the father of the Air Force. Now we jump to something darker. Philosopher Giordano Bruno had some big ideas for 16th century Italy. Unlike other scientists, he rejected the idea that Earth or the Sun was at the center of the universe. Instead, he claimed the universe doesn't have a center, and that stars are their own suns, with their own planets and moons surrounding them. What a beautiful mind he had, understanding that nearly half a millennia ago. Sadly, it got him killed, along with his negative views on religion. During a 7-year trial, Bruno tried to defend his ideals, but in 1600 he was executed by burning. Yeah, they burned that dude for his ideas about the cosmos. Sad part is, he was right, and probably a genius. Next up, a doctor who saved lives by soap. Hungarian physician Ignaz Semmelweis noticed something terrifying. In his hospital, women in childbirth were dying twice as often in one wing compared to the other. The deadlier wing run by medical students. The safer one run by midwives. He saw that the students came in straight from dissecting bodies, so he made them wash their hands with chemicals. After hand washing began, mortality dropped from 18% to 1.2%. Semmelweis moved to different hospitals. All of them used the hand-washing technique. Mortality rates were roughly 10% lower than surrounding hospitals. Hungary accepted this discovery, but Europe didn't. They mocked him heavily, and his mental health deteriorated. By the end of his life, his behavior became erratic and he died in an insane asylum. Ever wonder why gas at the pump is called unleaded? You guessed it, no lead. And for that, we can thank Claire Cameron Patterson. Patterson, a young chemist from Iowa, worked on the Manhattan Project. Afterward, he turned his focus to determining the age of the Earth. His supervisor asked him to measure how much lead was in rocks to calculate Earth's age. But Patterson's experiment took a horrific turn. He found lead in everything, and I mean every freaking thing. He discovered the lead concentration in the atmosphere was 1,000 times higher than it should be, and in human bodies, 600 times higher. He shared this data and demanded lead be removed from gasoline. As you may know, lead is extremely toxic. Guess what? We didn't listen. Why? Because powerful oil companies claimed lead was safe. As if they and their families didn't live on this planet. Eventually, they had to face the truth. In the 1980s, nearly 30 years after Patterson began his research, his work was finally accepted. We removed lead from vehicle fuel and from many household items. FYI, some historians argue that the Roman Empire partly fell because of lead poisoning. They used lead pipes everywhere. It poisoned the people, even the political elite, making them reckless and irrational in their decisions. Now, let's talk rockets. Most of us think of the 1950s and 60s as the age of space travel. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched the first satellite, Sputnik. In 1969, humans walked on the moon. But back in the 1920s, one man already saw it coming: American physicist Robert Goddard. He published an article in 1920 explaining how rockets could reach space, using Newton's third law of motion. People laughed, even scientists. They said, "Space is a vacuum. What's the rocket gonna push against? Your hopes and dreams?" But Goddard knew thrust comes from expelling mass backward, not from pushing on air. The New York Times even mocked him for not knowing basic physics. Then, after Apollo 11 landed on the moon, the Times printed a formal correction. They admitted Goddard was right all along. He's now recognized as the father of modern rocket propulsion, and NASA honored him by establishing the Goddard Space Flight Center. Bottom line, if you believe in it, go for it. The whole world might be against you today, but tomorrow they could respect you for it.